Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for November 2nd through the 8th of 2025. So our week kicks off on the 2nd, on Sunday, with Venus squaring off with Jupiter. So this is Libra to Cancer challenges, but at the same time it's the two benefactors that bring a lot of the fun and joy and pleasure, and we can get carried away with it with the square, because it embodies the carefree and buoyant vibe, preferring to steer clear of the mundane. But it's crucial not to let this fleeting energy derail you to a point where its distractions outweigh their worth. If there are no immediate pressing obligations, this period could be delightful and laid back, potentially spent enjoying time with friends and having a blast. Nevertheless, if work commitments beckon, ensure their completion beforehand, granting you the freedom to relish your leisure without the burden of a mounting workload upon return. Exercise caution against overindulgence, whether in food, drink, or spending. Additionally, this phase might necessitate adjustments in your relationships or financial matters. Jupiter's influence often magnifies elements, consciously or otherwise, and this activation typically encourages a more realistic perspective. It aids in aligning your genuine priorities with the grand vision for your future. So we like when they get together, but the square implies some action or change or movement or a choice to be made in order to activate these improvements. And Sunday the 2nd, I'm planning, if all goes well, to have our Scorpio Gate of Power fire ceremony. It's getting to be winter in this hemisphere, so they're getting earlier for my East Coast babies. This time it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and this is the 8th of 8 sacred seasons, so the final season of the year where we close 2025. We get together as a community, we look at the energetic support for the final 6 weeks of the year, we do divinations, and we pull cards at the end. So the Scorpio Gate of Power is technically when the sun gets to 15 degrees Scorpio, which will be on November 6th. But I've put the description of the seasonal shift in here near the event on the 2nd, so that you can know what this event is all about as well. It's time for honoring the ancestors, those who have gone before you. Time to prepare for several months of inner self-work. Okay, we've been out there pushing, making things happen in the world. Winter is time to pull in and recharge your battery. It's time for honoring that which is complete, aspects of being or in the world, physically, literally. It's also always a time at the seasonal shift, but the most intense and obvious and my favorite is during this Scorpio time of year when the veils are thin between dimensions. So it eases communications with the other side. You know, we're always preparing for a seasonal shift, but now it's a little bigger because it's the annual closure of a year and preparation for winter solstice to initiate the new year. So it's the end of a cycle while we glimpse the new cycle about to begin. The Scorpio Gate of Power is all about honoring the invisible assistants. This completes the 8 sacred seasons of the solar year. You've done all you can do for the last 10 months, and now you must surrender. You have been intuitively guided and completely supported the whole time, whether you were aware of it or not. All seasonal shifts call your attention to balance and remind you to periodically tune in to your heart, Mother Nature, and Great Spirit. This is the time of year for closure, within and without. The cross-quarter seasons, which are between each of the solstices and equinoxes, have long been considered to be gates of power, a threshold that offers access to other realms of existence, other dimensions which are relevant and connected to our own third dimension. During this time of year, reflection on the past and rumination on the future commingle. The angels, ancestors, Orisha, and animal spirit guides should be honored and will be more accessible for communing with at this time of the year. You can ask for their guidance on the lesson and purpose of certain events or experiences of the past year, and you can ask for guidance on how to proceed during the upcoming year. After completion, clearing, and release, it is an especially good practice to take some time to sit with the empty space. Pause and feel it. This is an infinitely potent time in between. A place also referred to as the sweet spot in agriculture, which is that very thin membrane between seed and new life. Plant your seeds of the future during this dark time and be still, listen, and invite life back to you. This 6-week period prior to winter solstice has the longest nights, implying rest, working behind closed doors, and moving through any darkness. It is time to restore strength and prepare for the light's return when things will again begin to quicken. And I think Scorpio is the most potent time of year because this is when we actually go into conceive and go back to those roots of what we're creating and cultivating at this time. And so in various different views of astrology, Scorpio sometimes rules Mars, asking what your soul deeply desires. And when it's ruling Pluto, it's what are you willing to sacrifice or transform to have that desire fulfilled. So this is the time as we're piecing together all that we've already been through and all that we're calling in for the new year. Are you willing to sacrifice or transform fear into love, doubt into faith, false pride for true confidence, skepticism for critical thinking, poverty consciousness for infinite gratitude, groundless low self-esteem for knowing who you are? This is the time to shed a skin. November is snake medicine, which ironically we're doing on the 6th. So we're having the gate of power on the 2nd, even though technically it arrives on the 6th. This is the time when the life-death life cycle is at work, highlighting an area of your life where you may experience an ending and subsequent new beginning. It is time to honor the dead, which can apply to friends and family who are no longer on this plane of existence with us, although their essence never dies and often becomes more accessible at this time. Or it can also apply to your being, your creative projects, cycles in your life that are now complete. In between completion and initiating a new cycle, project, or part of yourself, a time out, rest, reverence, reflection are all highly recommended. Also, this is the last of the 8 sacred seasons of the year when indigenous cultures and people who honor Mother Earth celebrate each turn of the wheel, each cycle. This is the season between fall equinox and winter solstice, so there is an element of harvest still going on. However, now it's more about the surrender and rest in preparation for new life. Deep breath. On Monday the 3rd, Mars is going to trine Neptune. 29 Scorpio to 29 Pisces is really powerful. This energy is good for spiritual exploration, digging deeper into your place in the cosmos, and in relations to others. This energy is good for spiritual exploration and digging deeper into your place in the cosmos, as well as in relation to others. Your energy is best turned inward as you find just how much who you are and what you want has actually changed over recent years, and use this energy to infuse more depths into your heart's desires. By infusing your dreams and visions for yourself, you naturally bless others and the universe. You may feel inclined to help others, but always balance that drive with some objectivity. Are those you're helping just as dedicated as you are to the common cause? This is a very laid-back energy that allows you time to take effective action on behalf of your dreams and/or spiritual growth, more than outward action or specific steps. So enjoy it. Yes, Mars is the energy fueling the Neptune dreams and visions. What do you really want? And that ease of it just kind of appearing and going, yes. And that's what you listen for, the full body yes or the full body no, and you go with it. The very next day, on Tuesday the 4th, Mars enters Sag. So that's a nice one to go out on. It's the deeper dreams of your soul in Scorpio and Pisces for that matter. Your ancient soul and what kind of experiences you'd like to have at this time. So as it enters Sag, you want to prepare for a dose of righteousness. This energy can bring chaos or brilliance, your choice. It tends to make you blunt and painfully honest at times, and in the body, it's fire to be channeled through any kind of physical activity, walk, dance, or athletics. Learning something new is easier than usual. Maybe it's the perfect time to take some kind of dance class. Salsa, anyone? Try not to take anything too personal and avoid petty arguments or fights if at all possible. Okay, deep breath. This is Mars could get heated over Sag beliefs and ideas and concepts and things. Channel all that righteous anger if you have any. When you channel your rage, which paralyzes, into outrage, which mobilizes, you can find a solution to any challenge. Don't forget to apply some of that brutal honesty when looking in the mirror, and remember to stand up for what you believe in. Deep breath. Mars will be in Sag till December 15th. So Uranus is right there. They're both at 0, Gemini, Sag. And so the immediate thing, so first we have to vision with ease and grace what we want. And now we have to integrate something. So this is a mixed blessing. On one hand, this energy can bring on impulsive reactionary behavior. You can have sudden outbursts of anger or frustration with a strong need to be free from whatever you are perceiving as a limitation or holding you back, whether it's a person or circumstance. The best use of this energy is to consciously direct your energy to free yourself from any restrictions, self-imposed or otherwise. This is a time when you will be extremely motivated to do whatever it takes to live freely by your own definition. Do not suppress this energy, as that will only make it blow up in your face, and usually at the most inconvenient time. Use this activation to check yourself and determine what you deeply desire, what your definition of freedom really is, and what you are willing to do to live a more authentic life. Deep breath. So there's this awakening going on around who you are, what you want, or your identity and purpose. There's lots of things that are pointing to that, but you're also considering those freedom needs. How much stagnation or commitment or confinement can you deal with? And then how much freedom and flexibility do you need to function? It's all up for renewal. And Mars is only in a sign for 2 months every 2 years, and every 2-year new cycle kicking off in our Sag department. So let's think about that too, across from Uranus and Gemini, activating all kinds of new thinking and ideas. What does that look like? On Wednesday the 5th, we have our super full moon in Taurus. So this full moon is a super moon, so there'll be an additional intensity to the light illuminating your Taurus area of life or house. This is also preceding the Scorpio new moon on November 19th, which is the conception of a new vision of the soul. But first we have to clear any self-esteem issues and determine what it is going to take to make you feel well-nourished, beautiful, and comfortable in your own skin. For this clearing, we should start with looking at any excesses or famines that are hindering our new moon seeds. The energy supports releasing that which is no longer important to you or no longer a priority in your life so that a new existence can come into being. Or I should say new experiences, will be possible if we can let go of the past. Taurus energy can reveal where we've become stagnant, and the word that keeps coming to mind over and over is movement. It's time to move your energy in a new way and create a moving meditation for yourself that helps get you back in touch with your own body. Scorpio likes to release and purify, while Taurus likes to acquire and solidify. So this is the best time of year to go through all your stuff, whether it's internal or external or a bit of both, and release as if you were moving into a smaller space. Downsize and simplify your life while keeping the most important things. As your personal clearing unfolds, you may find it's time to review your individual self-love, self-worth issues. As you release outer aspects of your life and inner aspects of your being that used to be important, relevant, or useful, you will also start to magnetize the new support and protection. Anything that has lost its life force energy is what it is time to release in order to make space for the new experiences. We can create brand new ground for planting in the spring. In other words, clear out in preparation for, fill in the blank, whatever your creative baby is. It's the one that is wanting to incarnate within and through you in the next year. This is a potent time for consciously co-creating with the life-death life cycle and clearing anything blocking new creations from being conceived at this time. What in and around you needs to die so that something of greater value can come into existence. Lighten the load there and open to conceiving a whole new life or new way of life for yourself. We are reconnecting to source and soul this month, so renew your connection to that which nourishes and sustains you with gratitude and faith in the future that we are seeding right now. Ashe. Deep breath. So this Taurus full moon reveals where we might be hungry or lacking or in a famine of some sort, or where we've gotten a little excessive in some things and gone to extremes. We want to balance out those extremes, and deep, deep level self-worth, self-value clearing so that we can go into our Scorpio power clean and magnetic and ready to manifest something even better, right? Now, the 6th is a big day. not the least of which is snake medicine. In the Soul Sister Circle, we get together each month around an animal medicine. This will be 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and a $25 subscription, or you can drop in when you feel called. And like I said, this is a big energy day, because technically it is the gate of power that we celebrated on Sunday the 2nd. Now we kick off this day with Mars sextiling Pluto, so fire and air. This energy activates the interplay between your lower will and higher will. Mars, representing the sacred masculine within, empowers you to act in alignment with your true self and aspirations. Pluto ensures that your actions stem from a place of purity at a soul level, often requiring a shedding of superficial layers accumulated from the previous cycle. Fortunately, this alignment is not fraught with negative implications, but rather serves as an opportunity to delve into your deepest desires and address any obstacles hindering their fulfillment. It is crucial to note that individuals who are disconnected from their authentic selves may experience more inner turmoil when Mars and Pluto come together, even in a harmonious aspect like this one. This potent fusion of energy offers a chance for significant progress, yet meaningful advancement also demands conscious effort and perhaps even some kind of personal conscious sacrifice. With Pluto's influence, this sacrifice may involve relinquishing preconceived notions and any attachment to the outcome. While your desires will manifest, they may not necessarily materialize in the manner or look like what you initially envisioned. Therefore, it is essential to remain attuned to the innate essence and emotional impact of your desires rather than fixating on their appearance or physical form. You always want to set your intentions, do the work, then allow spirit to breathe life into that vision. So when we say tune into the essence, and how it feels is more important. And some of you who have gotten readings with me know my example for this. I've always wanted a round house, and I hope someday to build one. But I don't want a round house if it's always going to be a problem. I want that round house for the way I think it's going to make me feel, the essence and the frequency of having open space that just moves in that circular motion. So you think about how things feel and let spirit provide the shape and the form that it comes in. Same day, Venus enters Scorpio until November 30th. As you move through the relationship work in Libra, many new layers of life and how connected to it all you really are revealed when she enters Scorpio. As new or sometimes old issues are exposed and brought into the light, you begin to realize that the love and abundance that you've managed to attract or create is a direct reflection of your own personal values and self-worth. As Venus moves into Scorpio, it activates soul-level work and illuminates how invisible energy is affecting your life and relationships. Ideas or beliefs that have become unconscious, hidden, or buried come into your conscious awareness at this time, rooting out any self-deceptions and or bad habits which no longer support who you've become over the last 2 to 8 years. Deep breath. It's time to identify and release any self-sabotage, illusions, delusions, or inner darkness that is delaying your good or misguiding your power. It's time to distill your motivations back to their original essence and intentions. Define your own terms. What is love, abundance, beauty, life? What do you want and why do you want it? How will you create it or magnetize it in? Scorpio is the energy and lesson of karma and creation, holding us all accountable for that which we bring into being, and reminding us that a willing and honorable sacrifice clears a space for magic to occur and invites the ancestors and invisible realms to contribute and assist. Ashe. Venus in Scorpio reminds you that you are not the source of power, but merely a channel or vehicle of its expression in form. So doing a purification where your relationships and or resources are concerned is totally supported. As a human with free will and choice, it helps to also be responsible and aware anytime Scorpio is kicking. Releasing deeper issues, clearing a space to plant new seeds of potential, doing the 3D visible work, then stepping back and allowing the invisible power of source energy to breathe life into your intentions is the best use of this time and energy. It can be intense and often challenging, but if you are able to push through the discomfort and face any dark truths being revealed at this time, You will be cleansed, lighter, and better able to direct your power and shapeshift as needed for living on a planet that is based on the life-death-life cycle and a natural rhythm. So as soon as she hits Scorpio, she squares off with Pluto in Aquarius on Friday the 7th. In the cosmic dance of celestial energies, this planetary activation heralds a profound and potent moment, demanding our attention and urging us to embark on a transformative journey. Its influence reverberates intensely, compelling us to venture beyond the familiar realms into uncharted territories, particularly in the spheres of relationships and finances. Prepare for an immersion into the depths of emotional resonance, as this activation sparks encounters and exchanges with others that unearth insecurities and stir hidden fears within oneself or within the dynamics shared between you. Stability finds itself absent from the equation, signaling an imminent and inevitable wave of change. Pluto and Uranus are the change agents, and they're mixing it up. Mars with Uranus, Venus with Pluto, that's pretty deep in and of itself. The rumblings of this shift may have already grazed your awareness, yet now it stands fully present, offering an invitation to act with foresight or face the repercussions of delaying the inevitable. As I often profess, the adage of pay now or pay double later echoes all through this transit. Despite the natural inclination to clutch onto familiarity, resist that temptation. Pluto, as is its nature, intensifies all that it touches. Embracing the necessary purification and embracing change stands as the wise choice, alleviating the potential for greater discomfort that comes when you resist Pluto's purification and transformative powers. Activate your inner compass, discern your renewed values, and align with your truest priorities of here and now. In choosing change consciously, you lay the groundwork for a new and different future, free from the shackles of the old, or an opportunity for something new that resonates more harmoniously with your natural essence and current aspirations, which also evolves over time. So deep breath. There's a transformation and purification going on somewhere when either our relationships or our resources or both, that when it comes to a square, we have to change something, make a decision, make a move, do something differently. So what needs to be transformed in your Scorpio Aquarius zones? Now, on the same day, the 7th, Uranus retrograde re-enters Taurus until April 25th of 2026. And that'll be its final move into Gemini, and then it's on and popping. So this is it. This is the last 6 months of Uranus and Taurus for the next 84 years. It is still retrograde and dipping back into Taurus in order to complete the crossing borders that we have been experiencing for the last year or more. Uranus is a collective planet and so affects many people and takes 7 to 8 years to accomplish its mission in each sign. It has awakened and liberated the energy of our Taurus area of life, and in the process, stimulated and caused changes in the other areas ruled by Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo, Aquarius. I'd say here and now is a good time to reflect on the liberating ordeal that you've gone through over the last 7+ years, because when you're in it, it's hard to know what's what. But now that we're moving to the other side of it, we will be able to piece together what really changed, how you were liberated, and what new consciousness awakened around how you take care of your primary needs and creature comforts. Deep breath. The electrical circuits of the body are being rewired, and anything we feel, Mother feels, and vice versa. Let's use the integration of the Taurus energy to practice having an awareness that something new is emerging from within as well as around us, and filter things through, first, the body. Does this feel right to me? Then the spirit. What does my soul self or higher self say this is when I rise above my situation and look at it from there? And finally, through the mind, putting pieces together in a logical way if possible, with a final rinse through the heart filter to ensure authenticity. Uranus demands this in whatever sign it traverses. My vision is that our technological breakthroughs will help serve and support Mother Earth, all life, and the body, rather than denigrate, violate, and pillage her natural resources. Uranus awakens by shaking loose where we've grown rigid and crusty. It just spent 8 years awakening you to a new level of personal responsibility, in that you cannot rely on outer structures to guide and protect you any longer. It's time to be independent within the context of the collective. As it moved through Taurus, there has been a radical shift in the social collective value system, and we have to adjust accordingly. Independence and freedom will be tied to your ability to shift your values and priorities now so that you can explore new ideas and thinking over the next 7+ years when it hits Gemini, which starts in full force spring of 2026. So, deep breath. So it's still retrograde and it's allowing us to change some things internally, but it's back in Taurus. And this is the final review and the final, once over that you got to do before you go on to some different energy and a different element and different ways of waking up your higher consciousness. So be sure to review the relevant reflections and upcoming events in the November monthly missive. And know that you can often find all the links that I discuss in my forecast on my blog anytime that you're looking for something specific, and in that monthly missive. The email and the blog have all the links. So I hope you'll join us when and where you can and reach out directly when you need to, and have a fantastic week. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.